The first version of a similar video was originally pulled by YouTube. Now this video originally started out as an insight into the uses of a TENS unit, TENS, which is designed for muscle and nerve stimulation and also pain relief, and it works. I've been using it for over a year and a half. It sends small electrical currents to targeted body parts. Not placing too close together, they can be applied anywhere on the body, any part. And yes, I said any part. As I was to begin this video, I found that the 9-volt battery was running low. So now this is a 2-in-1 video to resupply the unit with a heftier or beefier 9 volts with a better punch. The reason is 9-volt batteries are expensive and they don't really last that long. A couple hours, maybe 3 if you're lucky, if you don't use it a lot. But if you use it for 20-30 minutes, I mean, it just eats the power. And this hookup I'm going to do here, the electrical side of it, 2-part video here. This hookup is 1/4 the cost of a 9-volt battery, maybe less. So the first half is for the electrical conversion, and the second half is for the use of with effects. And I'd like to say hello to my patron friends. This video here is the video that triggered my first private patron only. I have several other videos, but was unsure which one of these would lead off my private patrons. When to step it up, as it were. And I believe a lot of these are truly stepped up. So to begin, I guess let me show you the TENS unit. In the back, takes a 9-volt battery. Front of it, you've got 2 dials. They all go from 0, which is off, to 8. This is the left channel. And then, of course, this here, other line, would be the right channel. You can use both channels. Turn it on. I've got this in burst mode, and then you bring it up slowly, more powerful, more powerful. It gets pretty strong with a fresh battery. And this is the right channel. If you were to put, let's say, 4 pads, let's say this is your back, and you put a pad here and here, and then this is your waist, and you put a pad here and here. Excuse me. When you use both channels, it works in a marvelous way. It works in a marvelous way. Also, if you only use 2 pads and apply it to an area like the wrist, oh yeah, it is sticking. And these can be cleaned. Let's put one here, and let's put one, let's say about there. And too close together, I'd say maybe a thumb's worth. I could put these closer. So let's go ahead and turn it on. The battery, let me remind you, is running low, so I'm not going to get as big a tweak out of it. Ooh. There's burst. And you may have seen something like this on TV. And I've got it set to the maximum. Alright, I'm going to turn it off. Oh my. That brought a bead of sweat. Wasn't quite sure. I didn't expect that. Nonetheless, it felt good. And I apply these on the back of my neck because I've got some neck problems. Yep. Now, if you're going to put these on a hairy area, I suggest shaving. But here you have multiple modes. You can turn it on and go to a burst. Let's see if I can get it out of that freaky light. And then there's normal. You'd have to experience for yourself modulation. That's nice. Side 1, I don't know if that's right or not. Side 2, back to burst. Normal. My favorite? Burst. Alright. I think this is going very well. So, I hate to use that. I need to get this ready. What we're going to do here is this little guy. Get it up there. This little guy is going to be our tool. I'm going to send 6 volts, which comes from this pack here of Pinlight batteries. And you can get them online. I got a dozen or so from China for cheap. Here's my supplies, 6 volt. Here's my boost converter, a buck converter, step up buck converter, voltage in 6 volts, voltage out 9. Now, when I hook up, voltage in, and this is going to be kind of a lengthy video, but it's going to be well worth it. You will get your money's worth, I promise, on every video I kick out. Okay? Well, let's kind of double that because I kind of stripped the wires on it. I don't want them sliding out. Alright, here we've got 6 volts going in. And let's just test it. Let's see what kind of voltages we can get. I believe I do have to use another set of these little creatures. Let's say green for red. And one more. I'm just too lazy to reach the red and black. Yellow for negative, black. And this is how we're going to power this. Okay? And as you can see, comparing it to a 9-volt battery, you're going to have a little more bang for the buck. Not only is it going to last longer, but it's going to give it its maximum current capabilities for functionality. Turn this on. We're all connected. Power's going in. I apologize. Came loose. There we go, 9.37 volts. Now this little terminal here will allow you to adjust the voltage. So if you see we got 1.5 times 4 is 6, we got 6 volts coming in. If I keep, and it's got a long throw on it, I go to 10, 11, 12, I don't know what the maximum is on this. 14, 15, I'm going to just keep it down to 9 volts. Alright, we will test this later, but there's a reason for leaving it up to about 9.2 if I can hit it. Oh, that is so close, I'm going to leave it, there it is. Close enough. We'll call it 9.2. Now the basic idea is to make what's called a mock battery. So I want to make a mock battery, and as you see in here, positive and negative. The negative is a bigger cap, so with this little guy here, all we're going to have to do is reverse it, being that this will be positive and this will be negative, and we just put it in that position, and it will contact just as well as it would if it was flipped over by having a battery in there. Now if you're having a problem with finding something that'll measure out exactly 1 7/8, I can easily do my 1 7/8. It's point to point. What really is more accurate for what I'm used to is old school, and that's just bringing that battery up and cutting a line right there. Then let's do this all the way down. I'm going off of the straight edge that was there when I bought it, because it's a lot straighter than anything else I've done over here. So we're going to go another 1 7/8, and it shows up 1 7/8. And yeah, black on black shows up, because there's one more type of black, more than one type. So this is and will be a good solid straight cut. I'm not going to use this. I'm not going to use this over here. And then I can cut my strips. So a little speed up action. Here we go. My compass set plus some templates. Got at Walmart. Looking for a 90-degree angle, and I will check it by the line up here, and I'll just go ahead and mark this right off, and this will give me a nice straight cut. And the first one, let's see, it's pretty close. I can make it smaller. Well, I could measure it too. Wow, 1 inch. Okay, 1 inch it is. 1 inch it is. Now to put it right there, I'm going to go under just ever so little. Everybody's got a ruler somewhere. That's all we need. We need a good ruler. Right angle, please. I tell you what, this is going to be my template. Well, just to be, yeah. I want to make sure that I don't go wandering off somewhere. Three may be too many. Pretty spot on. The idea was to glue these together, but the glue is going to use up too much space. So we're only going to use 2. And I'm going to use 2 of the best ones, which will be these 2. Let's get a little hot glue thing. What better do? Let's get that on her before it decides to do anything else. We got our sandwich. I think I can handle that. This has to really cool. So we'll let that do that. And move on to the next level, which will be this little guy. We need to knock it down a little bit. Alright, that's a lot of glue. So we want that to be completely cool. Now we can do a little work on getting it all connected. Oh, we don't want to get these to touch. So, take a battery out. It's a smart move. I did that a while ago and things got a little warm. I could, but I'm not. So anyway, step number 1, to get this to be able to hot glue on there, and I took out these wires here. I'm going to put in these from the battery in, out. But you see how I really roughed that up? That's going to help that hot glue stick proper with this on it, or to have this say stay stuck. And we want stay stuck, okay? Also, you know, whoop, really sharp point. And just get in there and dig. Watch your fingers. And dig. Dig. Be sure to crosshatch. Which, you know, all the directions. Now that I've roughed this up, I measured, put that on there because I need to solder these on there first, and measured how far in I need to go to put in these, and I always go a little bit long just in case. So I need to strip these. I need to tin these wires, and as a side note, these are not copper wire. This is a blend of aluminum, tin, and God knows what else. They're okay, but they're not that stable. But this is going to be a stable item, so it really doesn't matter. So let's go ahead and tin these. They don't really take to solder too well. And I'm not going to dig in there and try to replace that, which could be done, but it's ridiculous. Oh, I just went south with my... Yikes. I have to pause for a cleanup here. This is nasty stuff. Now we're going to solder to the top of the board, positive into positive. In the hole. Let's see how good of a shot I was. Right in there. Yeah, I'll turn it down a little. There we go. Better view. And flow like a fool. I need some Very good. Now for the negative. Okay. Very good. And again, whoop, too much wire. Too much wire. Ooh, I didn't put any flux. That's alright. I didn't need any. Chicka, 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 chicka. Keep it clean. Let's get out of this. Let's get rid of these. Make sure it's nice and flush. Also, make sure it's nice and clean. Reason being is we're going to be putting some hot glue on this, and you don't want any of that resin or any of that flux contaminating our hot glue. And give it a good scrub, as this one is important. Alright, clean your tool. Alright. Let that dry for a little bit. I thought I got a new toothpick. Oh, I did. Okay. Never mind. A little teacher tack on the top of the lid. Call it what you will. Oh, I got another cleanup here of this. And give me a flat bottom. Good to go. That's so cute. Mock battery. I love it. First one ever built. I think we can get rid of this. I think we can start doing a little hot glue. The only thing is, I don't think my hot glue is full enough. So I'll grab one of my mini hundreds. I got glue out the wazoo. Let's see. I'm going to redo my pad here anyway, so it's about time. Let's see, this way. Oh man. Talk about a close fit. That's kind of nasty too. But that is going to do it. It's going to take a lot of hot glue. No! How do I want to do this? And I can cut that out. Or I could put my finger in there right now and try to... That's pretty hot. Yeah, some of that glue's got to come out. Oh, good grief, I got threads. Yeah. Yeah, I can grab some of it. Maybe all of it. I think I just did. Well, hallelujah. Cool it down a little bit. Nice. I like it. Turned out good. Let that cool. Then we'll move on to the next step. Now, before I do any more soldering, I need the wire to go through the case to where the battery connections are. So in between these two posts, I made a little mark, and then I put it back on, made another mark, which denotes it right in the middle between the two pins, which you don't want to mess up those pins. And 7/64 of an inch drill bit, and we drill carefully. We got it. Looks right. Now I need to figure how long this needs to be, but let's go ahead and put the mock battery in and see how that fared. Negative, and the big one will be positive. That's what it was. My bad. Let's see how we fit. Let me run my wire. Might have to cut a little bit, but I expected that. So let's do that. And back in we go. I like it. By golly, I think that's going to work. Might have a little problem sitting up, but you can use it laying down. Literally. Now I've put some sleeving shrinkable tubing on here, a little bit here, to kind of help buffer the joints. I may come up with an additional idea to securing these, but for right now I think this is where I'll start with. Then some additional tubing here that when I solder all this together to go over. So 2 tubes on these guys. I've got 1 tube of shrinkable coming right down here, and then 2 more on here, smaller, to buffer the strength up here. Then I can jump this over, I'm hoping. So let's do that. It's time to solder. Get a little bit of the flux off. Nice. I could use the lighter, which I guess I will. Nope. Don't make me pause what I do with my heater. Yeah, I need my heater. My heater. Well, let's go ahead and hit these guys first. To hang that up to cool it straight up, because it doesn't have a cooling thing. I think that's going to be okay. And the back plate. Zoom one out. Well, you know, if I were to do this again, I would drill the hole just a little bit larger so I could force that in there. Like that. Well, shoot fire. Look at that. It fits, and that's stable. That another surprise. Surprise, surprise. Look at that. That's nice. Batteries. And we have liftoff. Literally. Let's check our output to make sure it's 9 volt. It is 9 volt, 9.18. That's okay. I could drop down a little bit, but I could make that adjustment later. Now, for the pads. Now we got the test. We have 2 leads here. I have one lead for this channel here, and I have another lead for this channel here. If I'm only using one, I put it in the one channel. If I'm using 2, of course, that and 2 more pads. When you're dealing with a larger area of your body, 4 pads can be quite entertaining. If you want to localize a particular area on your body, then I suggest one lead with the 2 pads. So let's go ahead and do that. I'll do a pad here, and I'll do another pad right there. Turn it on. Increase the intensity. Oh, there we go. Now let's do. I'll be darned. I wonder if, as you play with it, you can put it in different areas and get to, and you see this pulsing? Imagine having that on different parts of your body. Okay, turn it off. It's a little intense. That feels good. So, time to put them away. And now I have a good strong power supply for this. Turns it more into a professional because the battery 9-volt wears down so quickly. Here you can set your modes. Let's turn it on. And again, as I've shown you, you've got you got burst, normal, which is pretty solid, modulation, it goes in and out, and in and out. I've pretty much got everything set on high. Now SD1, I think with the 2 of these together, they're going to play against each other, and you're going to get an assortment of effects, which can be challenging and quite fun. I myself, on channel 1, like the burst, if I put 2 of them in there with 4 pads, then channel 1 and 2 light up, and it's an absolute roller coaster ride. So in closing, a TENS unit with a good beefy power supply, a couple of lines for the pads. You can achieve several things with it: relaxation, release tension, dare I say more. I mean, sky's the limit with these things, and it covers a lot of real estate. So there you go. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like it.